Okay. Welcome, welcome, everybody, to the Almost Awesome Podcast. We're on episode number 35. Before I introduce my guest, I'd like to sincerely apologize about stuff happening last week. I was on a remote location, and things kind of went awry. But what's important now is that we're back, we're good to go. And of course, today, like every other podcast, I have with me a very special guest. This is one of my good friends that I've known for about half my life now that I think about it.
Yeah.
I knew this guy since the beginning of high school, like even before high school, technically speaking. But welcome to the podcast, Alberto. How you doing, my man?
What's up, man? Calling in all the way from the West Coast.
Yeah, man. Living in another time. Literally.
Yeah, it's 5:06 over here.
So you still got daylight out there, right?
I still have daylight. Yep.
Yeah. But as we do for every podcast, we allow the guest to pick a dress code, a theme of sorts for the podcast. And this week, Alberto, well, to be fair, Alberto originally chose sports hats. And I was like, I don't know if you know this about me, but I'm kind of a nerd. So I don't do sports.
I figured there would have been like at least one team, maybe like an Orlando Magic hat or something.
I was thinking about that. I was like, I could find Orlando Magic hat, and I was like, I'm sure there's like probably like 3 of them around the house. But he changed it to just regular hats, and I was like, cool, I got a hat.
Yeah, we're both rocking the flat bill, which is nice.
Yeah, man. Now I do like to ask this. I'm rusty. I'm taking that week off. I do like to ask this every time. But is there any particular reason why you chose hats?
Not really. Well, the reason I chose sports hats is because all sports are canceled for like the season, which makes me really sad. So, like, the reason that I rep a team or something is because like during the season, like someone sees you and they're like, "Hey, like go Dodgers or go Lakers or whatever," and like I can't do that now because I'm stuck at home. So this gave me a reason to wear my Dodger hat.
There you go. Now you can rep them.
Yep.
Rep them to the millions watching at home. Right?
To the millions watching at home all across the world.
Hey, man, you never know. We could blow up.
We could.
We just don't know when
We
yet.
could. This could be the one. Episode 30. What is it? 30. Bro, I
35.
can't even
Episode
believe
35,
that
man.
there's been that many episodes.
Yeah,
Like, that's
that
crazy.
we've done like more than 4.
So many conversations.
We've come a long way.
Yeah, man.
So I guess to kind of start off, so you did kind of bring it up. So right now, assuming people watch this in the far distant future and there's still humanity and technology, and they can watch this.
It's not the zombie apocalypse.
Yeah. But obviously, right now we're dealing with the whole COVID-19, the coronavirus situation, and things are kind of getting serious, I would say. I know, Alberto, if you want to kind of talk about it, like what's going on in for you on the West Coast.
Well, on the West Coast, like the governor recently announced like this whole basically like stay at home, do not leave unless you need to go to the store or like the grocery store or the pharmacy or the doctor, and that's it. So they're taking it like super seriously over here. I don't know if California is considered endemic yet, but it's there's a lot of cases. There's been some deaths. It's pretty wild, man. Like if you would have asked me, "Hey, do you think you'll live through a pandemic?" I would have been like, "No."
Yeah.
Like this is crazy. So
But I think that's also why like people are kind of like panicking so much, because it's just like when else have we really dealt with this sort of situation?
yeah. Yeah, exactly. And I mean, I think it's there's a lot of panic because we've never dealt with it before. And the whole world was ill prepared, basically.
Yeah.
Like I've been seeing so many reports on how ill prepared we were, and how a bunch of people were saying like 5 years ago or whatever that, hey, this could happen. We need to make moves to be ready for this just in case,
In
because
case
if
it does.
not, it's gonna suck. And here it is, and it sucks.
Yeah,
So
no, it sucks.
they weren't wrong.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think that we're all doing what we can, and or we all should be doing what we can and trying to be socially responsible and staying home, taking care of, making sure we don't get people sick, or taking care of ourselves.
Yeah, yeah.
It's crazy. Everyone's making this big deal about washing hands, and it's just like, yo, do y'all not wash your hands normally? Like,
That's what I thought too. I'm like, so do you guys not like clean yourselves like
yeah.
normally? Like, is this like really news? You should wash your hands fairly frequently.
There's so many hygiene lessons coming out, and I'm like,
Yeah,
this should be common knowledge already.
yeah, right. But it's kind of like it's funny, but it's also terrifying. Where it's just like it's that it's like that's like the best way to like prevent like spreading it. So they have to,
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
almost like they have to remind you like the obvious stuff.
Yeah.
But
Well, it's like you don't think about it. Like Darian's my roommate. We yesterday, and when we got home, the first thing we did was wash our hands.
oh dang,
And it's like, you always practice good hygiene washing your hands, but it's not normally the first thing I do when I get home. You know what I'm saying? But here it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
I have like a whole routine now when I get back home to like uh you know, get all clean and stuff.
Hmm.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I know. I know. Here, it's not too wild yet. I know. They recently started closing down like restaurants, or they have a curfew in place
Yeah,
between
Orlando has a
11 and 5.
curfew, bro. That's nuts.
Yeah, I mean, well, to be fair, most of us are like idiots, and we're still going out and doing whatever. Because like originally, so Friday night, I went out to a friend's place to like kind of chill, have a couple drinks.
Yeah.
So I was like, that's not that bad. We were a party of less than 10, so we're okay.
Mhm.
But the downside is 2 people may have been exposed to corona. So we'll see if I show
Oh,
symptoms in the next couple weeks.
yo, was that
Uh,
at that party? Two people had been exposed already?
yeah, 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 yeah. Well,
Ooh.
potentially.
Okay,
Potentially,
okay,
it
okay.
wasn't like it wasn't like they actually have it. It was like, um, one of my friends, like my friend's coworker,
Yeah,
tested positive for it.
yeah,
So obviously, since they interact in the same workplace, it was like, you know,
yeah,
you you never kind of know.
yeah. I mean,
Um,
dude, last weekend I was traveling, and
yeah,
I wasn't just like, oh hey, I'm traveling, like I'm going to the next state over. Like I was traveling to Puerto Rico from LA. So across the entire, I was on a plane for 8 hours. You feel me?
damn.
Um, yeah, around a ton of people, and it was crazy. And while I was over there, everything was cool. And then they locked the whole island down while I was over
Ooh,
there, so I had to come
oh
back
shit,
early.
damn.
You feel me? And that sucked. But yeah, but ever since then, I've been like in quarantine because I'm been traveling. God knows who has what, where, at what point. So I should just be safe and stay indoors. I mean, I feel fine. Everything's great, but
At
yeah,
least you've been smart about it. I know, because
yeah,
last week I went to Chicago to visit Matt,
yeah.
and because I had like I basically had a free flight over there. And
Okay.
I was like, man, flights are hella cheap. Let's go. I got to use this
Ooh,
before the shit expires. So I went over there. I went over
yeah,
there. Almost, I thought I was going to get locked down. So I was just like,
yeah,
fuck, I need to get out of here. And it like
yeah.
on Monday morning, my flight got canceled.
Hmm.
And Sunday night, they sent out like a notice that like things are like they're starting to close down like restaurants and bars. And if you're going to travel, it's for like necessity only.
Yeah,
Um, and I was just like, fuck, am I going to get stuck here? Because it was already kind of like it wasn't snowing. They were getting like flurries and stuff.
yeah.
But I was just like, fuck. I flew Frontier because I'm cheap as fuck. So I don't have real winter clothes. So I'm just like, yo, if it snows, I'm so fucked.
Yeah, because you would have had to pay for it on Frontier if you took
Yeah,
winter clothes with you.
yeah, man. So I ended up booking another flight. I got out of there. Um, but then like literally like I said last week, I'm just like, yo, fuck it, man. I'm still going out.
Yeah, it's been hard. It's been hard. I think for me, it was like the most difficult thing about it is the shock because it
Hmm.
all seemingly happened overnight. Like on Saturday, I was on the island, I was out, I was partying, I was having a good ass time.
Hmm.
And then Sunday, we had a birthday party for my grandmother, which is why we were all there. And
Oh,
then,
true.
like, that party ended at 6 p.m. And that's when the news came out, like, oh, hey, there's a curfew starting tonight at 9 p.m.
Oh shit.
And then when the curfew started at 9 p.m. on Sunday night, it was like, oh, by the way, it's a whole island lockdown.
Oh
Like,
shit.
even when there's no curfew, like, you cannot leave your house unless you're going to the grocery store or a gas station or a pharmacy or the doctor. That's it.
Damn.
And I was like, damn, I'm supposed to be here for a whole week. Like, at this rate, they're probably going to shut down the airport at some point. So
Yeah. That's what I was
that's when
worried
I
about, man.
decided to head back. But it was like, it messed with my mental, because I didn't have, it wasn't like a gradual sequence of events. It was like
Right.
your life is normal and you're having a dope ass time. And like now everything's canceled.
Yeah.
Like just take your life as you know it, all the fun things that you have planned for the next month, and it's canceled.
And they're done.
They're done. They're done. You're just gonna be at home. So here you are. And like the transition was so instant that it really it I can't I'm not good at context switching that quickly.
True, true.
So when I got back, um I was actually like pretty freaking down for at least a couple days
Damn, man.
because like yeah, it messes with me. I was like, man, like I'm really and I'm an extrovert too, so I'm like super social and um that's a big part of my happiness.
Hmm.
So not having social engagements to look forward to, like I'm not used to that. So this has been a whole like rewiring for me just that just came out of nowhere.
True, true. Yeah, because I was
So
I was actually gonna ask like how you're dealing with it because for me it's just like cool, whatever. Let's go back to the same old. Sit at my desk, play video games. I
yeah.
almost there have been many days where I've completely forgotten that I still have classes. I still have homework and shit I need to do. And I was just like, oh fuck, okay, I gotta do this. I still have one more month before like the semester actually ends.
Yeah.
Um, but
Yeah,
for me,
it's
like I'm just like I'm cool staying indoors or like being holed in my room. I'm cool with that. But like you said,
yeah.
like as an extrovert, where you feel like that need for like social contact.
Yeah,
How you hold it up?
It's funny because for me, like, it's all of my gamer friends are all like, "Oh, dude, this is awesome. I'm just gaming like I always do, but now
Yeah.
everyone's home, so I have people to game with."
Yes. Yes.
they're just like usually we have to like schedule our our raid or
Hmm.
whatever, but now we just wake up and raid. We like, wake up and be like, "Yo, what you doing?" It's like, "Yo, hop on. Here we go."
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But I'm not a gamer, so like for me, none of that is like for me, home is where I eat sometimes and where I sleep. And that's it. I don't
True.
I don't particularly do anything at home. Like, the occasional like, all right, I need a day to chill. Let me watch some Netflix or something, or watch a movie or blah blah, or I'll listen to music or I'll host people.
Hmm.
But in terms of just like fun, normal activities for me to do, like even stuff like reading the news. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't do that at home. I do that at work.
True.
Like I take time either at the
Exposed.
beginning. Yeah. Well, not during, but I take time either at the beginning or at the end of my workday or during my lunch and I'll
Oh, okay.
like
Okay.
catch up on like the news or whatever I want to read, browse the internet, watch some YouTube. Like I don't do any of that at home, right?
Hmm.
So for me, home is like this place where all I do is sleep and eat and like that's it and everything else I do outside of home. So I think that's why like when I got back, I was like, man, this whole being at home thing is really lonely. Like
Yeah,
that was hard for me. Like it was for me, it was a huge change. It wasn't a
mhm,
small change. It was a really big change, right?
mhm.
So I'm trying to like figure out how to like, dude, I haven't like this like video conferencing thing. Like I haven't done this since like college.
I was gonna say, like, even before like having this podcast, like I have to think
Yeah,
about like the last time I did like a video like chat thing. It's been
yeah.
like ages.
Yeah,
But
it's been ages. So now we're like using, and it's kind of interesting to see, right? Like on social media, people are doing like TikTok dancing, and like I have so many friends who
fucking
cook
TikTok.
apparently. Like I had no idea they cooked, but now everybody's putting their meals on social media, and like people are finding creative ways to interact with each other virtually now.
Mhm,
But they're putting it open so that everybody can see it because it's almost like this communal like we're all in this together kind of thing, you know?
mhm.
Which I think is pretty cool. I think that in the face of adversity, there's something like unifying about all this, even though it's freaking, at least for me, it's super hard. But
Yeah.
how I've dealt with it though, like yesterday, because I think it's safe to be in like open spaces where you can actually be 6 feet away from people,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know? So yesterday, I rode my motorcycle and I got out the house and I went on a hike. It was a short hike, but like I was in nature, got some fresh air. The LA, dude, like LA's usually kind of smoggy. LA was the clearest I've ever seen it yesterday
That's so funny.
because there's not as
'Cause
many
there's no one
people on
there.
the road, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it's
yeah.
like, dude, I've never been able to see the mountains so clearly. This is nuts.
Holy shit.
Um, so that's kind of like a positive side effect of this whole thing.
Mhm.
But yeah, I went on a hike and like that healed me. I really needed that. After I got home last night, like I felt way better.
True.
Way
Yeah.
better. So I think like for me, it's just gonna take like getting out in a responsible way to like
Mhm.
be out the house and just get that energy in me and then I'll be okay. But the first few days when I was here, I was like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah, just trying to, like, adjust. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause even for me, like, man, like, it crushed me when I got an email from my gym saying, "We're gonna be closed from now until potentially April," and I was like, "No, no, 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 man. This is like that's like my safe haven, man. That's where I go when I'm like, I'm stressed, I'm feeling down, I gotta, like, release this energy, this tension."
Yeah.
But now it's, like, closed, I'm like, "Fuck, what do I do now?" So I'm at home. Like, I have, like, a pull-up bar, I have, like, gymnast rings. Like, I have ways to, like, still, like, exercise and everything like
Yeah.
that. But at the same time, it's like, I joke that, like, it's a lot of fun, like, just being home, being able to play video games, but even, like, I'm making that transition back into, like, finding games that I really enjoy and can get lost in. Like,
Yeah.
that initial transition of being like, "Oh, okay, I can be at home. What am I gonna do?" I'm just, like, lying in bed, I'm like, "I don't know what I don't know what I'm doing right now."
Yeah, dude. And you'd be so speaking of working out, like it is so hard to find a kettlebell to buy.
Really?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's easy to
I
find
guess
light ones, but to find heavier
oh,
ones,
yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, man, I can't find this anywhere. What the hell?
You gotta get that, what is it called? Joe Rogan has one. The big
Joe
one with
Rogan has everything.
the fucking chimp head? I don't know what brand those are.
Yeah, I don't know either.
I'm
I
sure
do
I'm
know
sure,
what
like,
type.
Rogue probably has some heavy
Yeah.
kettlebells, but
But yeah, so finding a way to even work out, like just like normal daily things and finding a way to like repackage them because of
mhm.
this whole situation has been, I think, a unique experience. This is the fact that I didn't see it coming. It just came out of nowhere that kind of shocked me.
Yeah. And it's nice to, like, still be able to go, like, out, like, literally go outside your house.
Yeah,
Just out of curiosity, like, if things were just that bad where you had like, it was just straight up lockdown, you can't leave your house,
yeah.
do you think like, do you think you'd be able to manage that? Or would you kind of, like, end up kind of going insane and being like, "Oh, I need to
Um,
call people and, like, have use that as, like, my social interaction."
Well, first, I think I would starve.
You got a
Because
roommate. Come on, survival of the fittest.
survival of the fittest. Worst comes to amen, amen. Um,
Yo, you don't need that leg. Come on.
yeah, like we'd have to, assuming like we're stocked up on everything. Um, I don't know, bro. Like I would go stir crazy. I would have to find ways to not go stir crazy. I don't know how. Like that would just be nuts. That's a completely virtual life, right? It would be like an episode of
Essentially, yeah.
Black. It'll be like an episode of Black Mirror coming to life, basically. Like that's nuts.
Yeah.
That would be nuts. I don't know if I could handle that. I think I'd be able to handle it for like a short period of time, maybe like a month tops, and then after that,
You
I
start
would
to
start
crack.
spiraling into dark pits of like mentally unhealthy
True.
things. It would be bad.
But I also feel like that would kind of happen with like most people. Like I feel like even me, like I said, like I'm comfortable being holed up and just playing video games, but like after a while, I would just get kind of like sick of it and be like, okay, I need something I need something new. I need something different.
Yeah. Yeah, you always need something new. I think the
But
key, I would probably prioritize learning new,
true.
like just finding random new things to do. Like even something as simple as like, I don't know, photography. Like, oh, let me try and take like really cool pictures of random things around the house and
True.
see if I can make it look all like artistic. Um, but yeah, I think I would prioritize learning new things, and that would be the best way to keep my mind occupied.
Hmm.
Um, because yeah, video games wouldn't cut it. Although I can get pretty addicted to video games or like a show or anything like that. I just wouldn't
Hmm.
be able to do it for a prolonged period of time.
Yeah, yeah. There's only so many shows you can binge watch on Netflix.
Yeah, basically. For
Like I
real.
binge watched The Witcher like a couple nights ago,
I heard that
and
was
I was like,
good.
it's pretty good. I
Yeah.
wish I played more of like the Witcher series to really kind of like understand the backstory. Like I
Yeah.
kind of got. I don't want to dive too much into it, but there are a lot of points where I got lost. I'm like, what exactly is happening right now?
Yeah.
But
I
maybe I'll read.
actually I actually have like a Netflix party scheduled for after this
Oh yeah,
podcast.
a
Like
watch party.
yeah, a little watch party where we're all gonna sit down and watch a movie together virtually.
Nice. What movie you watching?
I have no idea. Like I got invited to it. I didn't set it up, so
Oh, true.
we'll see what they pick.
You can watch Big Boy comedy
Oh,
special by Burt Kreischer.
yeah. Yeah, that sounds
Supposed to
good.
be pretty
I've
good.
heard of that. That's actually on my list.
Yeah, I've been meaning to watch it too. I haven't watched it yet,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I've heard very
Uh
funny things.
we've been told that Kevin and Shay says hi. So,
Yeah, yeah,
hi
yeah.
Kevin and Shay.
I've been chatting with him a bit. We're
Yeah.
chatting now. We're chatting
I,
just like this, man.
I actually Shay's been watching it too. I actually watched the Love Is Blind shit TV show recently.
Yikes! Boom, boom, boom! Shots fired.
The most garbage TV I've ever watched, but like for some reason I started it and then I just kept going. And I was like there was a point maybe like 3 episodes in that I was like, why am I watching this? My IQ is dropping. But then I kept going.
But I can't stop.
But I couldn't stop. I think I understand reality television now. I was never that was never a thing for me, but I think I get it. I
True,
get
true.
it. You're just addicted to the drama, you know?
Yeah, man. It's interesting to watch someone else's life, especially if it's
Yes.
spiraling down, and there's car crashes everywhere and fiery explosions. Ooh, ooh, gets me excited.
Both literally and figuratively.
Yes.
Yeah, man. So this is what COVID has us doing, bro. It has us watching shit.
Hey, man. They getting their views. It's working.
Yep. Yep.
But I guess to transition onto something a little bit of a lighter note, um, like one thing that I thought was like really cool about like our relationship, um, is just like because it dawned on me recently, like after like I asked you to jump on the podcast and everything. Um, kind of like when I think back on it, obviously, like I said, like we've kind of known each other for like half our lives.
More than half,
Um,
bro.
yeah. Trust me,
Yeah.
I'm still young, man. I'm a freshman in college. Okay, Jesus.
We met
uh,
freshman year. We had the same history class.
yeah,
And I
man.
think and I think that you sat in front of me.
All right, we're not gonna divulge in that. We're I know where this is going. I know where this is going. But like we've known each other for so long, and like when I think back on it, I guess there were times where I felt like um we weren't like super close, or at least like now, like I feel like we barely kind of keep in touch.
Yeah.
But when you were in town, I thought it was like super cool that we kind of just like clicked immediately. Like we keep up like every other day. I just
Yeah.
felt like
I
it's
think that's to me that's always been kind of a telltale sign of like a strong kind of relationship or a strong friendship is you don't like you have those people that like you interface with almost on the daily, right?
mhm,
It's like I talk to you every day and whatever and blah blah. But then there's people that like you were tight with, you forged a bond, something, or they're just a certain pivotal moment in time for both people. And then after that, like y'all don't have to talk every day. But when you kick it, it's as if you talked every day. You know what I'm saying? Like it's
yeah,
completely normal. And I feel like having moved across the country from Florida, like I have several friendships like that, you know?
mhm,
Or even friendships that transition to that. You know what I'm saying? Like people that I used to talk to every day, or like that we would call each other like super, super often. And now they've transitioned to like this, you know, we chat it up every once in a while, and then when I get back we kick it, and it's like nothing has changed.
mhm.
And I think it's because that trust is that it never goes away. You know what I'm saying? Like that like you're going through a rough time or I'm going through a rough time, like you got me, I got you. Like that's just a known certainty kind of thing. So there's this security in that. And
Mhm.
then like beside that, like whenever we kick it, it's just going to be like a huge
It's a good
update.
time, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and a good time. So I noticed that the last time I was in Orlando, because we hung out, and I hadn't seen. I don't even. I think it had been over a year since I've seen you.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, man, it's
Prior
been
to
like
that,
some time
it's
since we've
been a
actually like
long time, a long
mhm.
time. And a part of it is because whenever I go for like a period of time, so I have to like split it between like friends and family and everything.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
then
yeah.
there's always people who want it to just be like just you and them or whatever. Like they
Mhm.
don't want to kick it in a group and blah blah. So it's like I try to accommodate all of that. So it makes it super difficult.
Mhm.
But um but I had no idea that we were gonna hang out. And the fact that we did was actually like probably my favorite part of the whole trip.
It was wild because that happened. Which podcast? That was right after the podcast with my mom. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure.
Yeah. And
And
then I went
then
home because I didn't even know about it. And then I went home and I watched that podcast.
nice man.
Yeah.
But like I like when I really think about it, I feel like it's kind of it, it kind of shows like the strength of our relationship through like all the sort of like experiences we've shared together.
Yeah.
Um like I'm gonna say this like for the fifth time, but just the fact that like I've known you for half my life and we've gone through this and that,
Mhm.
growing up in like high school, figuring out like your identity, going to college, learning how to not get fucked up, but we still get fucked up. Uh, like stuff like that where it's
How
just
to
like
not
just
let getting fucked up fuck you up. Yeah, that's
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah. That one.
That
uh,
one.
but like just like going through all those sort of things kind of just like compiled together and like built up this relationship that we have, which I feel like is super cool. Um, and like I guess it kind of brings me to like this next point, um, which is it's kind of been something on my mind. But like, do you have like a certain someone that um you confide in? Con confine?
Confide in.
Confide? I'm
Yeah.
like, do I know words? I don't read books.
Yeah.
Sorry. Uh, I don't read books. I'm reading a book, but it's an audio book, so I'm not
It's an
really
audio
reading
book.
it.
Yeah, I don't read.
I'm not really
I
reading it,
listen to
but
books. If we talk about it, give me a little bit. Um,
um,
yeah, man. I think it's important for everybody to have somebody that they confide in, you know? Um, I think for me, what I've realized is like, so being like an extroverted person, right? Like I mentioned before, I know a lot of people and I have a lot of
mhm,
friends, different circles, different interests that I've met throughout my life, like in different ways, both in Florida and out here in California. And what I've noticed is that I'll go to different people for different things,
mhm,
right? Depending on like the relationship that I have with them. You know what I'm saying? Like if I just need to like vent, like something shitty happened to me and I just need to vent and like get it out, like there's certain people that are good for that because they're not going to try to solve my problem. They're just going to listen and crack jokes. And
mhm.
that's all I need. I just need you to crack some jokes because I'm in a place where I'm not laughing and making me laugh is going to make me feel better. Or
Right,
like,
right.
but sometimes if I'm like processing something or um I need to think through something, then I got my friends for that. There are some people that I can go to for multiple reasons,
Mhm.
like more multifaceted relationships. Those tend to be my deeper one. Like people that I can go to from like if I wanted to laugh, I could talk to you, but if I wanted some deep shit, I could also talk to you. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right.
Because you crack me up. So
Thanks, dude. I try.
um but yeah, I've noticed that like I do that, but I think it's important for everybody to have somebody that they can be 100% real with. You know what I'm saying? Like if you don't have a ride or die, that's gonna be a problem. That's a problem in your life that needs to be addressed.
Yeah. But
You
it's
know?
it's also like, I guess as a follow-up to that, like if you don't have like that someone, like how do you it's almost like how would you go about like trying to find that? Because when you think about it, like I can't imagine spending like 15 years trying to get to know somebody now and building
I
that
see what you're
relationship.
saying.
You know what I mean? Like it would be
Yeah.
like when I think back on like, oh, if I have to talk to someone, like it's got to be, it's obviously still going to take time because you have to
Yeah.
build that trust and that level of friendship and everything like that. Um, but
So
like,
let's see. I kind of look at that. I look at the solution to that kind of the way I look at dating. Or that kind of the way society does dating, right? Like think
so
about
you
it
just
like
swipe right. You
yeah,
just keep swiping
you
right.
swipe
You're
right.
like, yo,
Bro,
fuck it,
like
man.
you can
Someone will listen.
dude, you
Someone
can
will listen
use
to me.
you can I need a friend. I
Please,
need a
please go.
friend. Oh, we matched. Hi, can we be friends? um
Oh,
but like no, did you know that you can use those apps to swipe for friends now too? Like there's like yeah, like they've modified them to where it's like, are you looking for a relationship or are you looking for a friend? And I was like, damn, bro, people are trying to use these things to find friends. That
I was like,
sucks.
is that what people do?
I
Okay,
mean, I don't know if people use it that way, but the feature exists and it
okay.
continues to exist. So I'm assuming
So apparently
that
there was a need for it, and
apparently there was a
people
need and
apparently
filled.
use it. Okay, okay.
Yeah. So,
That
which
is,
I mean, I'm not knocking nobody. Like, yo, if that
yeah.
works, then again, it's important. Like, word, that's dope that you can find a friend that way. But that being said, like it makes sense, right? Because
Mhm,
think about the way we date. Like and primarily people who are dating seriously, they're dating to meet somebody who they can be with forever, right? They can
mhm,
marry maybe if they believe in that. If not, like but like perhaps the most serious relationship outside of their family that that they would have, right?
Right.
And I feel like most people, the way they do it is just like, oh, this person looks good, you know, I like them. There's an energy exchange where they're attracted to and blah blah blah, and then they make this decision to pursue that person, right? They don't
Mhm.
really know them. They're not really tight with them, but they're devoting time to them, they're devoting resources to them, and they're trying to get to know them. And then, like, hopefully it blossoms into like this meaningful relationship. Um,
Mhm.
and it's like, I think that it makes perfect sense to do that with friendships. It perhaps makes even more sense to do that with friendships because there's less risk.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you you're probably not going to get your heart as broke if things go awry. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So, um, I've actually made several friends that way. Like a lot of my friends, when I moved here to the West Coast, bro, I didn't know anybody. I It was a completely clean slate. I just dipped and I did not know a soul. I was here by myself. I was 22 years old. Um, yeah. And like my first roommate, I met off of Craigslist, and it was like a sublease for 3 months. And I was like, I got 3 months to meet people at work um, and make friendships and see where that goes and see if I could live with them. And that's how I met my current roommate. And my
Nice.
current roommate we decided to live with each other like legit less than about 2 weeks after we met each other.
Damn.
Like 2 weeks after we became aware of each other's existence, we decided to live together, and we've been living together for almost 8 years. It'll be eight
Nice.
years this summer. Yeah,
Damn,
and
man.
he's my brother. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's one of my closest people. So
True.
that was just like, it was just a decision. It's just like, yo, I rock. Let's both put energy into this and create something. You know what I'm saying? And like, yeah, it takes time, but it's not like you're trying to put in the time first to see if you can make that commitment. It's like you just make the commitment first because you just feel a good energy and a good vibe with somebody, and
Mhm.
then you go for it and you see what happens.
True.
And if you got to cut it because things go bad and like that person just so happens to be toxic for you, then you just cut it. Just cut it. You know what I'm saying?
True. Sometimes you just gotta let the dice roll.
Yeah, yeah. And
Sometimes you win, sometimes.
I think that at this age, because we're older, like when you're in high school, it's different, right? Because you're developing just as a human.
Mhm.
And I think that's part of why my high school friendships, like all of them, not just you, but like you, Jav, Tyrone, Esco, like our core group, EJ, obviously, like these are people who, these are kind of like my core group of boys who like were there while I was becoming me,
Mhm.
so they know facets of me that people I meet now aren't going to know
Right, right.
because they were there. They're a part of who I am. You know what I'm saying? Like that's kind of like this pivotal moment, and it's a lot easier then, I feel, to develop these really close relationships, and it's definitely a blessing for me to have been able to keep a lot of them, you know? But
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think now as we're older, like the whole process kind of changes because we got lives, we got shit to do, like we have to go about it in a different way, and it involves kind of like doing the scary thing of putting yourself out there,
True, true.
you know
Cool.
just
That's the
like
hardest
that.
part, man. Throwing
It's like
yourself out there, willing
bro
to be
bro
vulnerable.
bromances don't come easy, dog. Come on now.
No, they don't. They don't, man. Romance doesn't come easy. Don't get
Romance
me
don't
started
come
about
easy.
that, man. Don't get me started about that.
I will say bromances are a little bit easy to develop
Oh
though.
yeah, man. It's easy, bro. Give me a couple shots, a couple beers. Yo,
You
we're gonna
couple
have a
shots, couple
we're gonna have the
beers,
nicest
and
romance ever
that's all you
for
need.
that night.
All
And
you need.
tomorrow I'll be like, who the fuck you?
All you need is one magical night, bro. One magical night. That's it. That's it.
Yo, that's all I need, ladies. All
With the ladies, you need
right.
multiple. You need multiple with the ladies. Dudes, you only need one.
It's tough, man. I was so because we kind of touched on it a bit. Um, and just out of curiosity to kind of catch up, how's
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
dating for you?
Oh
If
man,
you don't, if you don't, you don't have to
no,
divulge
no, no,
any
no, no, no.
information if
We
you don't
can
want
go.
to.
We can go. That's a
I'm just,
loaded
I'm
question,
just,
bro.
I'm just saying. You can
Yeah,
choose how you want to
loaded in a
answer it.
good way. Loaded in a good way. I mean, dating for me now is great. I'm seeing somebody. I really
Oh,
like
nice.
her. I haven't
True,
liked a
true.
girl like this in a long time. I'm pretty sure
Oof.
she's watching right now because I see her. And if
Dang.
and if she ain't watching, I'll know because she won't say nothing. She won't be like, "Hey, hey, you were watching the."
Oh, damn.
But so right now is great, but
Nice, man.
getting
Getting
to
there.
now,
Yeah.
especially after moving across the country where like you don't know any, like I had to recreate an entire life from scratch,
Hmm.
as an adult, right? So I already had baggage, experiences, blah blah. I come out here, recreate an entire life. Like dating in that space is a whole different thing, and what made it really hard for me too is that like I'm super tight with my parents and with just like people in my family that are older than me and that I look to for guidance and they're like mentors for me or whatever, but they
Hmm.
can't relate to that because they came up at a time where they got married at like 22 years old. Like
Yeah.
they never dated like that. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? So all of it is new. I'm navigating it for the first time with no help. Like it's a whole different thing and it's hard, bro. Like it was it's it's difficult. It's difficult because, you know, you
Yo, I know.
yeah,
You
yeah,
don't have to
yeah,
say
yeah,
anything. Yo, I know.
yeah, 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 yeah. So let's just say, like at this point in my life, I'm convinced that a substantial amount of luck is required. Like I feel like a lot of people think that they can like make it happen, but this is like the one aspect of your life that you don't have complete control over. It's not like your career or your education or like, making smart investment moves or your finance. Like it's not this thing that you have most of the dominion over.
Hmm.
It's this thing that you have like half of the input, and the other half of the input is this complete other person with a complete other life and complete
Yep.
other agenda. And like, so dude, you got to get lucky to like meet somebody who rocks with you the way you rock with them equally at the same time in the same
Hmm.
place ideally, and like create something that works and like y'all can talk to each other and communicate well or whatever. Like yeah, there's work that you put into it, but the initial acquisition of it, I feel like there's a lot of luck involved,
Yeah.
you know?
I feel like there's so much luck involved. Like you could stack all the odds in your favor and
Yeah,
still just
and
lose
still just lose.
continuously
Yeah.
because maybe you just drew the wrong card. Maybe you
It,
just didn't
it's
find the
like
right person that clicked with you. Doesn't
it's
mean you're
like
a terrible person,
yeah, it's
right?
like poker, bro. You could make all the right moves and you know, you can still have a downswing. Eventually, like if you play for like 10 years,
Hopefully,
mathematically, you should come ahead, but you
if
know,
math proved it, it's gotta be.
but with dating, that's a lot more taxing, right? Emotionally.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
it's not. I think that's what makes it hard. You know, point where you're having the same conversations with people, like, where you from? Where you come up? Blah blah. What do you think about this? What do you think about that? And it's like, and you feel like you're repeating the same thing but with different people,
Hmm.
and it gets tough. It gets tough to like get that click, you know. But
Yeah.
I think a lot of it has to do with I think for me, the keys were taking advantage of my singleness to really work on me and grow as an individual, right? And develop my communication skills, develop like what I really want, to what the kind of man that I want to be like without somebody so that I
Hmm.
could share that, right?
Hmm.
Um, and then so that was key. And then just being open, bro. Like there was a time where I wasn't open for a long time because I was just tired.
Yeah.
And then eventually I became tired of being tired. Does that make sense? Like
Yeah.
when you're jaded, like even
Y-
being jaded is a lot of like negative energy and it drains you. So like you become tired of being tired and then you know what? I think I'm ready to just like open myself up again.
Hmm.
I put in some like personal investment, like let's see what's up. And then, just being open and seizing opportunity, capitalizing on opportunity, taking some risks, you feel me?
Yeah.
And hopefully luck's on your side, and then you're willing to put in the work. Once you get lucky, then you got to put in the work.
Yeah.
So that's my wisdom up until this point.
Until then, well, I don't know
Until
what the fuck's happening. We'll see.
later, who knows what I'll think later.
This could all be just a fucking lie, and none of it could work.
This could all
I'll
be,
let you
yeah,
know.
this could all be completely wrong. So
But
grain of
I,
salt,
I,
people, grain of salt.
I do like how you mentioned, like taking advantage of your singleness, and taking time to like figure yourself out.
Yeah.
Which I feel like that's when I think about like most like single people dating. I feel like that's not the initial thought. That wouldn't be like the first thing that would come to mind. It was like, what can I do to be the best me, the best presentable me, and how do I present it? And blah blah blah.
Yeah. When
Um,
I What I've noticed is that a lot of single people, this is just my observation, right? A lot of single people spend their single lives trying to not be single, which is kind of it it doesn't quite make that much sense to me, because it's like it's a trade-off, right? Like there is a trade-off between a single life and you know what I'm saying? And when
mhm.
you're single, you have more resources. You have more time, you have more money.
Yeah.
Like you
You
have
have money. Period.
you have period. You have stuff to work with, right?
Mhm.
And it's like, okay, well, what can I invest these resources in, right? And because you're single, you can invest them in yourself, not in like
Mhm.
this selfish way where you're just like, you know going to the strip club every night throwing singles, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, if that's what you
but
gotta do, if you gotta
but
build that
hey,
personality, yo,
if
it,
you got a moment in your life where that's important to you, then it's all good. There's no judgment here. But
you do
but
you.
like you can invest in yourself. You can invest in yourself. You know what I'm saying? And like
Mhm.
restock them, obviously, because um that's important. So I just to me, like if you're single and you're just spending your single life trying to not be single, that to me doesn't seem like the most optimal way to use your resources, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Like
You
I
know?
think I think it's a because I kind of resonate with it personally,
Yeah.
where I think like I was always taught, or I was always under the impression of just like um finding the other half of you, right? Where
Yeah.
you're not complete without, the person that you love, your destined partner, that one person that's meant to be with you, right?
Yeah.
Um so you don't really think about you,
Mhm.
where you're like, I should be fine the way I am, even if I'm flawed. Like I need to find, the other half of the coin. I need to find that person to complete me. But
Yeah.
that's so flawed thinking that
Yeah.
way, where you need to think of it more as like you're living. You need to learn to live life on your own,
Mhm.
because in the end, it's just kind of you.
Mhm.
The person that you find, like your partner, your destined, you know, lover,
Yeah.
they should be able to complement you, not complete you, because
Mm.
you by yourself, you're already complete. You're a whole person,
Yeah.
right? So that secondary person should just be there to complement you,
Yeah.
not not help fill gaps in like your life or aspects of like your being. Like you
Yeah.
need to do that yourself. You need to figure out like what what makes me whole. If I
Yeah.
have holes, then what can I do to, you know, fill them up? How do I complete myself? And you're not going to get that by finding finding someone else.
Yeah. Word, bro. That's 100%. I'm with you on that, Like it's not about finding your other half or your better half. It's about you being whole and the other person being whole. And then y'all get to share those you two different people and share that on the same table. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And y'all can build that table, you know, and then share meals on the table, drink on the
Oh
table,
yeah.
party on the table, do other things on the table. You know what I'm
Yo, damn, all right. Yo, shit, keep it PG, shit.
You feel me? So I mean, it's like that. It's like that. I'm 100% agree with you. 100% agree with you.
Yeah, I do like that too. Like what Tati said in chat. Like that person should be there to compliment you and also push you to be better.
Yeah, I
Like
think
they should
it's
help you
important
to
for
reach
me.
like new heights.
Yeah, I was just having a conversation with my girl about this today. I was like, "Yo, it's important for me for you to check me. Like you have authority to check me. Like I need to be checked, you know? Cuz ain't
Hmm.
nobody perfect, you know? We all have room for improvement. We all have areas where we're going to be weak, where we need to get better.
Hmm.
And like we need to open that door, you know? And you open that door to people that you trust and people that you
Hmm.
care about. You know what I'm saying? Like if I hit you up and I come at you with like some bullshit energy, I expect you to check me because you're my boy. You know what I'm saying? Be like, I expect you to be like, yo, Berto, like, you want some fuck shit right now, dude. Like, you need to be thinking this way because the way you're thinking it ain't right. And then I can be like, damn, Mark, like, you're right, dude. Like, I need to make a change, you know?
Yeah,
Um, that's an important aspect of any relationship, not just dating,
yeah.
not just your SO, you know what I'm saying?
That's just life advice.
Yeah, bro.
But it's hard though. Like just trying to find like sometimes you have to find like the proper phrasing, the proper wording to get like that point across, right? Because
Hmm.
I know for me, like I talked about it with Matt like over like last week when I was over there, and just like how like for people who know the story, shit's been a complete shitstorm,
Yeah.
and I've kind of been an idiot. But I kind of went like I had like a weird enlightenment period where like it wasn't that the advice that people were telling me like wasn't clicking or I wasn't like retaining it. Like I wasn't
Hmm.
just letting it go in one ear and out the other.
Hmm.
Um, but it was just like for some reason like things just wouldn't click for me. And like just after hearing it like so many times and just hearing it different ways, at one point like just hearing it a certain way, I was just like, oh, that's it's that easy.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so sometimes like I guess like for me personally, it's just like I had to be kind of like berated with it over and
Yeah.
over again until I just kind of had the right combination or like the right
Well,
phrasing for it to really click. And it was just
and
like,
I
oh, okay,
and I
now I'm
think
woke.
and touching on what you're saying too, I think a part of it is also developing the ears to listen.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because like a lot of times when your homies are like telling you, giving you advice or telling you like, oh, this you should do that, or have you thought this, have you thought about that, right? Like it's a whole lot of the what. It's a whole lot of the what. It's a whole lot of like, here's your problem, here's the solution, or here's your problem, here's things to think about so that you can arrive at a solution, blah, blah, blah.
Hmm.
But it's not a lot of the how because how you get there is so personal and so different for so many other people. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember when I was going through like legit heartbreak, like the most common thing when you're like ruminating and obsessing, right? Is like, yo, let it go, let it go. And it's like, okay, I know that's what I need to do. You've identified the problem, you've identified the solution. Now tell me
But
how.
I need
Oh,
the in
I
between.
don't, I don't,
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know how. You're just gonna have to figure that out. And it's like, well, thanks for nothing then. You
yeah.
know? And but a lot of but then there again, you arrive at that moment where somebody says it a certain way, and I don't think it's so much that they're saying it that much different from anybody else. I think it's that you work through it so much that you, like that whole process of working through it is you developing the ears to listen. And like you finally get to the point where you have ears that are can truly listen to what people are saying, and then you're like, oh, I get it. That's what letting go means. Like that's how I do it.
Ah,
That's That's really what it's supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? But you're working through all of these feelings, all of thoughts, and
Hmm.
blah blah. You can't sleep at night. This, that, the third. You know what I'm saying? And like, it's a process. It's a process. Like, none of that stuff happens overnight. Like,
Hmm.
I don't believe in anybody who tells me like, oh yeah, my friend told me this thing and I implemented it and like that's it. Now I'm good.
Hey,
Like,
sometimes it does.
sometimes, but
Sometimes, but
usually it's for
yeah.
relatively little things. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Hmm.
huge, deep emotional things. Like, it's usually not the case.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think a part of it is people communicating a certain way, and the rest, and then another part to listen.
Yeah. I like the way you phrase it, where it's like you kind of develop the ears that are
Yeah,
willing to listen, and
yeah,
then basically you're able to take it to heart. It's like, oh,
yeah,
all this finally makes sense. Now I know what to do. Now I know
yeah,
how
man.
to do it. It's like I've had all the answers of what to do, but now I can know, here's step one, blah blah, so
Exactly.
on and so
And it
forth.
all starts with wanting it too. You
Hmm.
know, it all starts with wanting it. Like, at the end of the day, no one's gonna do something.
Yeah.
So whether that be being with somebody or getting over somebody. Like, if someone doesn't want it, it ain't happening. And if they
Yeah.
try to make it happen when they don't want it, sloppy, it's gonna be painful. It's not gonna be a good body.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know. So
For sure. For
um,
sure.
that's kind of like that's been my experience with that kind of stuff. So
Oh.
yeah, man.
But man, like I feel like we took too long. I took too long to get into the nitty gritty stuff,
The
because now
nitty
I'm like, yeah, this happens. This happens every time. Like every time, like
gritty.
when we're at the closing point, I'm like, dang, we've only just begun.
We've
We've
only
only just
scratched the
begun.
surface. You
Yeah,
should,
man.
what you should do? You should like guess that maybe like your listeners are like they rock with or whatever. Then you should like have a series of like a certain topic. You know what I'm saying? And like break it down into multiple episodes or something. And then that'd be cool.
Well, that's the beauty of having this sort of podcast style, is that basically what we can do is we can continue this on a almost awesome podcast uh, featuring Alberto Ramos Part 2. But unfortunately, it is about that time. It is about time for us to start closing shop.
Yeah.
Um, but again, like always, thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for listening. It definitely means so much for me that people are chilling in chat. Hopefully, you guys are enjoying our talks. Hopefully, everyone's being safe and practicing sanitary uh, procedures. I don't know where I'm going with this. Be clean, be safe, uh, and we'll get through this together. Um, but before we close up, um, don't forget to like and subscribe. We're live every Sunday night at 8 p.m. unless things go awry like they did last week. But
8 p.m. Eastern. Eastern.
8
8
p.m.
p.m.
Eastern time. Yes, 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 yes. Eastern time. I mean, technically, you watch at 8 p.m. anytime, anywhere, because it's on
Tech,
YouTube.
technically,
But
yeah.
if you want to be here live in chat, talking with us as we are going through our discussion, then be here 8 p.m. Eastern time. Um, so, don't forget to follow us on social media. It'll be in the description below. You can follow us on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook. Usually on Twitter and Facebook, I post when we're about to go live. I know there's some things I kind of want to experiment with on Instagram, so hopefully I'll have try to post something juicy tomorrow on the Instagram. Gonna try something new. So be looking forward to that.
On the
Um,
gram.
on the gram. Um, so to close up, as is tradition, we throw it to our guest to send us home, to give us an in conclusion, a TLDR of sorts, um, to leave us off on a good note. Alberto, you'll have a minute on the clock to do with it as you choose. Some people range from giving a thanks for watching. This is what I took away from it. You can just say bye for a full minute if you really want to, and just hold it.
Bah.
Timer start. But do with it as you choose. And with that, then we end the podcast. So, Alberto, are you about good to go?
Yeah, man. I think I'm ready.
All right. Let's use our new and improved, well, maybe not improved, our new timer technology. Cody, whenever you're good to go, I think we're set.
All right, here we go. My minute is starting now. So I guess I'll just give a quick summary. Mark and I just catching up. This is my boy from high school, freshman year. I'm convinced that he sat in front of me in ninth grade, and and that's over half our lives. And I'm grateful for that friendship. So it's dope that y'all got to kind of get a taste of how we catch up, man. And it's important for you to find somebody that you can be real with and that you can, like, even if you don't talk often, you can kick it, be 100% yourself with, be open, and confide in. That's important. And dang, bro, this timer goes by so fast. Okay. Basically, we talked about dating. We talk about living a single life in a manner that isn't like chasing not being single, like investing in yourself so that you can be the best version of you, so that you have a happy life and it's cool and there's a lot of luck involved and it's all good. And my minute's up.
Be safe, be clean. We'll see you next week. Bye.